Hello, hello, hello. Come on in the room, honey. Come on in the room. Sweet Life Squad, where are you at tonight? Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, in YouTube land. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, family. Come on in, come on in. I am waiting on you to come in tonight. We ain't got but so many. Okay. I'm about to say we don't have so many minutes. We trying to get over there to see Mr. Darian. Hi, Michelle. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. You doing good tonight? Turn this. Hello. How are you doing, Jazzy? How are you doing? Hello, beautiful color. How are you? Hello, Hajarine. How are you tonight? How are you? How are you? I hope you're all doing well. Trying to silence his phone, honey. All right. Everybody saying hello. That's my baby, y'all. Jazzy. Well, one of my babies. Yes. So I hope y'all are doing well tonight. It's Tuesday night. Hopefully your week is going well thus far. Mhm. Thanks for coming in, love. All right. Are y'all doing good? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. We go. We gonna try to move through pretty quick. I want to talk to y'all about tonight about first of all, just thank y'all for coming in. I'm sure everybody's trying to get ready, kind of a little bit for Thanksgiving because it's a season of giving thanks, right? And so I want to make sure that you all are ready for this Thanksgiving dinner that we're going to have. I want to share with you all my numbers, my blood work numbers that I've gotten back recently. Last week I had to go to the doctor, my PCP for my annual wellness visit. And so I got some results back. And so everybody's saying hello to one another. Yeah, so I got some results back and I want to kind of share with you all what's going on. So everybody here knows definitely. I don't know how many people out there just listening in the bushes or in the clouds or whatever they want to call it these days. But for y'all that are coming in, make sure you're hitting the like button. I'll greatly appreciate it. Hello, Jen F. How are you doing? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. You on your way to work? But I want to kind of talk to you all about my numbers, my blood numbers, my blood work numbers. And so I got some stuff up. I'm not going to show it actually on the screen, but I will let you all know a little bit about it. Okay. What's going on in my body. And I did do a video a while back just about knowing your numbers. Everybody should know their numbers. Now, on that video, I was talking about, like your blood sugar, your blood sugars, especially for those who have diabetes. or even some people that have insulin resistance, they may have to, check their blood sugar every now and again. Your A1C when you go to the doctor office, you want to make sure when you get your wellness visit. A lot of times they'll check your A1C, and your blood glucose, depending on what test they're just determining to run. Also, you want to of course know your weight, especially if you're on a weight loss journey. But even if you're not, it's good to check every now and again. And then your blood pressure, checking your blood pressure all the time. So those are the 3 things I talked about in that video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Go check it out. Looking at this chat real quick. Everybody's just saying hello. Hello, L. Lewis. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Okay. Okay, God. Good. Jen. Great stuff. All right. Yes. Enjoy your days off. You trying to. Yes. Don't let nothing get in your way, honey. Hey, we know life is life, but it's all right. We know how to navigate through things. Yes. Beautiful says, yes, honey. Enjoying your time. Yeah, enjoy your time off. Correct. You can make it enjoyable, honey, no matter what's going on. Oh, you exhausted? Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So, yeah, everybody's saying hello. Thank y'all for coming in and speaking to everyone. Yeah, so I want this. So I, talked about those on that video. If you haven't seen it, because I know a lot of people are new coming in, it seems like daily. So if y'all haven't seen that video, go check it out. I think it was like know your numbers. At least that's what the the thumbnail said. But it's good to know that information. Especially, you're so when it comes to blood work, definitely. Not sure if you're, like I said, on a weight loss journey or not, but it's also good to know your weight every now and again. So it's nothing wrong with getting that scale and getting on it. And not being scared of it, okay? So because it's going to fluctuate. Like we always say, life is life, and life be life, and it's going to happen. But just to know those things is good, because that way you'll know how to do what needs to be done to make sure you get it back to where you want it to go to. Some people, they may, if you don't check your weight, say if you're not on a weight loss journey, if you don't check your weight and you start going, down in the scale, then you won't know, you don't know you're doing that if you don't check your numbers, right? Or you start going up and then you don't know how far you even went up. Okay, yeah, my clothes are getting snug, but how far have I gone up? Not sure. And then next thing you know, you're 50 pounds heavier than what you were. And then you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Well, if you know your numbers, then you can kind of, when you see it's only like 5 pounds, 10 pounds up, you can say, okay, let me tweak some things so I can, get back down to, where I'm comfortable with. Don't wait till it get too far out of reach. And then it's very, very hard to get it back down. I think about, times when, like when I've gone in the hospital and I had like the surgery, maybe having my babies, or, I had a partial hysterectomy, I had knee surgery. So those are some of the surgeries I've had in life. And, they always told me when it came to pain, because of course pain is going to come when you have surgeries. But to minimize that pain, they give you medication, of course. And with that medication, they're like, don't wait until you get to a 7, 8, 9, 10 on that scale of 0 through 10 that they ask you about. Don't wait, because if you wait that late, it's going to be much harder to get those numbers back down, and make that pain level go up, kind of be a little bit more stable, or not, as, not as painful, so that's why you want to make sure that you, check your numbers early so that you'll always know where you're at, so that's that. And not just in the hospital when it comes to pain medicine, but even at home, it's the same way. That's why it's important to go to our doctors to make sure, we're doing what we're supposed to do. And if there's some things that we need to tweak, we can do that. Okay. So yeah, let me check this chat real quick and see if some other things are coming up here. Okay, just more highs. Hello, Miss Linda. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. And yes, my day has been very, very joyous. Yes. Hope yours have been too. Let me see what else. And she's saying good evening to the community, to the Sweet Life Squad. Hope you all doing well as well. Thank you, Miss Linda. Thank you. That's Linda McDuffie. All right. So with that being said, when it comes to my blood work, I couple things that I've been checking and I'll share with you all tonight. It's some other things going on too, within my blood work. It's a lot of things they do check when it comes to wellness visits. But I've been talking to you all about my cholesterol, just trying to lower the cholesterol, um, making sure my HDL, which is they consider the good cholesterol, is in the normal range, as well as my LDL. Now my HDL, I had reported to y'all before that it was running low. Okay. So for women, they want it to be like over 50. That's the optimum, I guess, number to be at, over 50. Now it can be a little lower, I guess, but over 50. So I use Quest as, well, my doctors use Quest, I should say, as the lab of choice. And so when I'm looking at my Quest labs now, so I may not see the chat right now because I'm trying to look at the lab so I can tell you, but like as of September, my HDL cholesterol was 46, which is lower than the 50. Okay. My LDL was 118, which was high. Okay. Because the LDL cholesterol, which is they consider bad cholesterol, was it should have been under 100. Okay. And to be honest, they really want, for people that have diabetes, they want, it to be really under 70. Okay. But, the actual reference range is under 100. Okay. So we're going to try to work on getting it to be in under 70, which is optimal for people that have diabetes, such as myself. However, you know, that's what it was 118 at the time. All right. And then my non-HDL cholesterol, which is another reference for cholesterol, was 135, which was high. Okay. My triglycerides at the time, because I had already started Manjaro. And at that point, I want to say I was on the 5 milligram dose at the time. I went from the 2.5 I was on that 4 weeks, and then I went to the 5. So I was on there. This report was September 4th, and it was the total cholesterol was 181, which is under 200. Okay. So that was in the normal range. So the total cholesterol was in the normal range, which was fine. The triglycerides was 76, which they want triglycerides to be under 150. Okay. And it was 76 at the time. So that was great. Okay. But what I needed to hone in on is that HDL, trying to get it back up to the normal range. And it was at 46 at the time. And the LDL was too high. It needed to go back down to the normal range. It was 118 instead of the 100, under 100. Okay. And of course, like I said, optimum, it'll be under 70 for a person that has diabetes. Okay. My creatinine, which is, now we're talking about, now that's kidneys. Okay. So we just talked about cholesterol. Matter of fact, before I go back there, let me do this, because I don't want you to give you too much at one time. Hold on. All right. So when it came to, I'm just going to go to now, as far as, yesterday when I got my test done. Well, let me see. Hold on. Let me go to, hold on. Let me go to May. Okay, so May, I wish I could have it all up here on the screen for y'all. I got to learn how to do all that. So that's why I said, let me just tell you about it. So my cholesterol, LDL, had went up in May from the 118 to the 130. Okay. My HDL went lower to from 46 to the 45. Okay. And then my non-HDL cholesterol went up some to 146, but my total cholesterol was 191. Okay. My triglycerides went down to 68. So that was good. So the total cholesterol and the triglycerides, they were in the normal range still, which was great. But the HDL and the LDL got worse. Okay. The HDL went lower, which was not good. I need to be at 50 or more. And the LDL went up even further. Okay. At 130. So that's not good. All right. So that's why I decided, you know what? I got to get on something. I got to do something about this. This is not going to work. Okay. I got to figure something out. So what I did is I decided to go on a, just like lower my cholesterol, find a way naturally to lower my cholesterol. My endocrinologist want to put me on medications, but I was like, I'm not really ready to get on medications yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on a supplement. So I went on first I started with, because I didn't realize I needed both of them, but I started with a CoQ10. Okay. CoQ10 does help with heart and everything. It helps with your cholesterol and all that. But I needed also so then as I was researching a little bit, I found out I needed CoQ10 and omega-3 fish oil or whatever. So I got something after I finished that bottle of CoQ10 only. I jumped into something else, another brand, and I got one that combined both of them. But not only that, I also started eating natural, trying to figure out things I can do naturally to, lower my cholesterol. So that's part of the things is like decreasing my saturated fats in my foods in my, my regimen, as well as, so I would, instead of like eating like very, very fatty, say sausage, pork sausage, I tried the like chicken sausage, and I tried the, you know, mainly the chicken sausage, different kinds. Okay. Not a big fan of chicken sausage. I did find one that was okay, but I just don't like it. Ugh. So, but if I need to, I can tolerate one of the brands that I did get from Trader Joe's. It was a Trader Joe's brand. But I went back to the pork sausage, but instead of eating like a sausage patty, great value that I used to love eating, they had a whole buttload of saturated fat. I decided to start looking at the labels again when it comes to saturated fat, not just when it comes to blood glucose, or I should say the sugars, the carbohydrates and the sugars of it all. So of course I'm looking at that because of my diabetes and trying to make sure that stays low. But for its cholesterol, I'm looking now at the label in the area where it says saturated fat and cholesterol, okay, and total fats. So I found a pork bacon because I love pork. I just love pork. I mean, I know some people are like, oh, you shouldn't have pork. Well, I love pork, so I'm going to still eat it. So I've decided, okay, let me go ahead and start eating, finding some bacon and some sausage pork that I can eat that has less cholesterol than what I was already choosing. So I did find something that only had, like, the bacon had 2.5 milligrams of maybe grams, but 2.5 of the saturated fat. So I'm like, okay, that's not bad. And I eat 4 pieces of bacon with my brunch, I would say. And that was much better than, say, the 5 that it was initially. And then so that I lowered that. Then I found some great value sausage link, the little tiny links that we could eat, breakfast sausage. And that was, like, I think 5 grams of saturated fat. Not too bad because, compared to what the patties that I was choosing, the frozen patties, and they were like, I think it's 7 to 9 grams of saturated fat in one patty. So the one that I'm eating now, it's 5 grams, but it's 3 sausage. So those, even though they're tiny, small sausage, they're still good enough for me. I'm happy with the 3, and it's only 5 grams of saturated fat, so I'm good. So that's just an example of what I was doing to make sure that I could, kind of be careful with the saturated fat. Another thing I did, now that's for breakfast. Another thing I did is, like, when it came to ground beef, I decided, okay, I'm going to still eat regular ground beef. I don't really care for that turkey meat or the chicken ground and all that stuff. But I still eat regular beef, okay? But I started getting, like, say, the better beef, okay? Which means, like, how it has the 80-20, 73, what is it, 73, whatever. I don't even eat that one anymore. 73-27, I think it is. The 80-20 and 90-10, 93 7. So I started doing like the 93-7 or the 94-6 when it comes to ratio of fat versus actual meat. That's what I started doing. So that lowered some of that saturated fat as well there. So I just found different ways to do it to make sure I can lower my saturated fat on a daily basis, as well as making sure I'm taking that CoQ10 / omega-3 fish oil, supplement. And so with that being said, and I've only been taking it maybe like 2 months probably. And I'm talking about both of them, one just the CoQ10 and one with the CoQ10 and omega 3. So with that being said, my results from November, which was last week, let me get to that one. Let me see, hold on. Remember, it's the HDL and the LDL that I'm looking for. Let's see. And I'm coming back in the chat, y'all. I'm sorry. I just want to get this part out of the way. All right. So let me see if this is it. No, that's not it. Hold on. Let me find another one. Hold on. It's trying to load. Is this it here? Yeah. Hold on. I'm almost there. All right. So now, is this right? Okay. So now, right now today, my HDL came back at 58. Okay. So all the things that I've been doing, the things that I just told you about, me watching, my saturated fats in my foods, okay, as well as the cholesterol, and that's on your labels. That's why you want to know your numbers. That's why you want to know your labels and read your labels. But that has, and me taking, like I said, this vitamin or supplement, I've gone back from the 40. Remember, I was 46, 45, and now today, or as of last week, I'm now 58. Okay. Yay, Kim, Jay. Yes. So that's awesome. All right. My triglycerides is now at 47. Okay. Which is even better than what it was before. It was already in the normal range since but which I reported to y'all not too long ago, but it's now 47, which is even better. Okay. So it's really, in that normal range where it's supposed to be at. All right. Deep off in it. And then the LDL calculated is 127. So it should be less than or equal to 130, and it's 127. So even though it was up a little bit, because it was, I think, 130 something, the last thing I reported in, was that May, I think it was, that I reported to you all, is now 127. So it's under the 130. Awesome. But I have to keep working on it to try to get it down to, the 100, under the 100. And then, because that's what they want you to kind of be. But then, of course, keep going to get to till I get to under 70. So I'm on the right track with this, y'all. So I did want to let y'all know that. I'm going to jump in this chat and see what y'all talking about. And then I'll come back to the rest of it. Okay, let's see. Hello, Felicia Marie B. Yes. I'm so excited, y'all, to be able to let y'all know what's going on with me. Hey, Mia, how you doing? How are you? Hope you're doing well. You love pork. I know that's right. Shoot. I ain't giving it up. All right, so Mia, not if I don't have to. It's a fight. I'm a fighting all the way through. Mia says, I got answers from a doctor. She's referring me to onto an OB-GYN, okay, which the GYN stands for gynecologist, for further investigation. Okay, cool. Yes. Awesome, Mia. Hello, Monty. How are you doing? How's recovery, Monty? Good question. Thank you for asking that, Mia. So sweet. Woohoo! Thank you. Beautiful uncolored. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Mia. Praise God. Yes. To whom all blessings flow. Thank you, Miss Linda. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Look, I got a little more, y'all. I got a little more to tell you. All right. So Monty says, hi, Mia. Today was rough. I am officially in swell hockey sticks. My hips, stomach, and thighs are swollen, and I'm sick of these drains. Okay, but praying Thursday they are removed. All right, sweetheart. Yes, I know how you feel. Look, the swelling, hate it, right? But it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Just keep going, honey. It's gonna get better. I'm telling you right now. And it's gonna be worth all what you got to go through. Unfortunately, that's what when we have surgery, especially that kind of surgery, you are gonna swell up a little, so a lot, right? But then as the weeks go on, you're gonna start seeing all that swelling is gonna go down. And you gonna, girl, when you see yourself, you're gonna be so excited. I'm telling you right now. I'm so excited for you. um, so yeah, just keep hope alive, keep hope alive. All right, and I understand them dreams too, because I've never had it before, had to have it before. But my sister, she had a tummy, she didn't have to get it, she got it, a tummy tuck, and she had those dreams, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad because that's my little sister. I just love her so much. I'm like, I don't want her to be in pain. Oh, and she allergic to so many medicines, so it's just like she had to go through so much. Oh, but yeah, but hey, snatch, I'm telling you right now. She snatched. All right, so Michelle says, amazing results, Kim J. Look at God. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Cookie, how are you doing? Hope all is well. Okay, Mina, I keep praying. Yes, we're gonna keep praying for you, sweetheart. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. I can't wait you be able to say, "Hey, come on, I'm girl, y'all look at my stomach. It was worth it. All right, hello, Miss Toy. How are you? I hope you're doing well, and thank you again for that challenge that you spearheaded, I should say. You challenged us to do that. First of all, we started off, you challenged us with the squats. I enjoyed that squat challenge, and then you came right around and challenged us again, yes, with the knees up challenge. Look, knees up, what else we call it? High knee splinter. It's all kinds of names, but yeah, hey, y'all, we figured it out. We made it happen, and I enjoy every bit of it. Yes. And I understand you're in the bushes. I got you. Thank you for coming in, and thank you, to acknowledge you're here. I thank you, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you, and have a good time exercising. Yes. Hello, Traveling T. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. All right, Miss Linda says, one day at a time, Monty. Yes, you're in. Let me see. You're in your way to your next. Yes, you're on your way to your next. Yes, you're gonna be looking good, honey. Yes, you're gonna be looking good. I can't wait to see you. But I'm excited for you. Okay, so that's my cholesterol, y'all. And I told you little cholesterol numbers. Okay, for those who coming in, I just was letting everybody know my update on my cholesterol levels. Okay, know your numbers. So my cholesterol, started off not so good. The HDL was high. The LDL was low. I'm sorry, flip it around. Sorry, y'all. The HDL was low, okay, because it's under 50, and the LDL was too high, over 100, okay, in September, okay. Then it got worse in May, okay, going the wrong direction. So I had to do something about it, y'all. Just like I had to do something, tackle that A1C, had to tackle that cholesterol, okay. And so as of last week, and I'm trying to get everybody caught up, y'all. I'm sorry. So as of last week, those triglycerides look even better, which they were good anyway, but it's even better now. Okay, look, it's even sweeter. And the HDL has come down to where I'm getting the green light. It's not looking bad anymore. And then I need to lower it some more, but it's looking much better, much better. And then also my HDL is higher. It's over 50. So that's awesome. It's actually 58 now. So that's awesome. Honey, listen, I'm so thankful to God for, helping me through this, okay? Giving me the things I need to do. So again, just to let y'all know real quick, those who are just coming in, what I did was I started taking CoQ10 and omega-3 fish oil. Okay. I take a supplement daily, and I only take half a dose. I don't even take the full two dose. My pills say take two a day. I only take half a day. Half of that dose. So just one, of course, one pill. And then I also made sure I looked at my labels on my food, and I started, like cutting back on all that saturated fat. Okay. Yes. So I still can eat pork. I still can eat my pork, but I just be more mindful of the pork I choose to eat. Okay. I still eat beef, but I be more mindful of the beef I choose. Okay. I choose the better beef. Now, this is more expensive, unfortunately. It's more expensive. Everything is already higher, right? But it's even more expensive. Okay. When you're trying to eat a little healthier. Yeah. Sometimes it is. Okay. You can, but in the long run, it's going to be better for you. Okay. I can make sure I don't have to get on those the statins, or they have some that's not a statin that you can get on this cholesterol medicine. If the statins don't work, then they have another kind of medicine that they put you on. But I had already told him I'm not getting on statins. I have too many side effects to statins. So he was like, well, I can put you on something else. So he did prescribe me something, but I was like, hold off on that. CVS. Yeah, hold off on it. I'm about to do something. So when I talked to my doctor about the cholesterol, and what my endocrinologist was thinking about doing with me, she told me, she was like, you know what? I wouldn't have put you on a statin right away. I would have put you on the CoQ10 and the omega threes. So, and like I said, it's working, y'all. It's working for me. So thank God for that. Thank God for that. Hello, Vanessa. How are you doing? Yes, this will pass. Yes, Monty, this will pass. This too will pass. Yes. On the bright side, my belly button is cute. I know that's right. Yes, find your non-scale. Look, find them victories. I saw a preview, and it was way better already. I know that's right, Monty. That is awesome, honey. That is awesome. Yes, yes, yes. So do y'all know y'all numbers? How are y'all numbers looking since y'all started y'all weight loss journey or better health journey? Your GLP-1 journey. How are your numbers looking? Are you checking your numbers? Hopefully so. Okay, so now that I talk about the cholesterol, let's get into the blood pressure. All right, my blood pressure has been in the normal range. It used to be, when I used to have blood pressure numbers 200 over 100 something. Easy, like easy. And it's supposed to be 120 over 80 or under, right? Honey, I started taking my medicine finally like I was supposed to. Okay. That's how I developed that kidney disease, because I kept having so high of uncontrolled blood pressures. Okay. Not knowing where them blood pressures were, because I didn't even have a monitor, blood pressure cuff and monitor to check them. That's why I can say now we need to know our numbers. That's why I'll talk about that, knowing your numbers, right? So yeah, but I'm good and well in the normal range of that. So awesome, awesome, awesome. I still take high blood pressure medicine. I still take it. I still take a water pill. Okay. But I noticed a while back, before I got started on my weight loss journey, my potassium was very low. My sodium very low, just stayed low all the time. And I have kidney disease too, like I just said not too long ago, and I've been talking about for a while now. But that sometimes when you have kidney disease and everything, these numbers just be all haywire. Okay, because your kidneys are not filtering properly like they're supposed to. So yeah, some of that has something to do with the kidney disease. Sometimes it could be the diabetes. That's why I say, if you don't have these things, y'all know your numbers, do what you're supposed to, try to do as much as you possibly can to make sure that you stay healthy. Okay. Because you don't want to get diabetes. You don't want to get kidney disease. And not just saying that, but doing something, applying the things that you need to apply to make sure that you stay healthy. That's what we want to do. So that's what, I encourage you all to do what you need to do, and not just be like, oh, okay, I ain't got that problem, because it can easily turn around. It can easily be something different, right? So that's why you want to make sure that you're doing everything you can do to stay healthy, okay, or to reclaim your health if you have issues with some of these things that I'm talking about. Okay. But my diabetes, okay, I was diagnosed with type 2 July of 2024. My levels were 15.1. My A1C, my glucose at the time was over 400. Okay. And it's supposed to be under 100, and it was over 400 for the glucose, the sugars. And my A1C was 15.1, which was 3 times the normal range of 5.6 or under. Well, in 5 months, as you all know, that, or most of you all know, if not everybody, that I was able to get my glucose levels down to under 100, for fasting glucose, which means, after you wake up the next day, and I check my sugars. And then also my A1C went down to a 5.6, which is back in the normal range, y'all. Yes, it was right there. It was 1 point, 1 point would have pushed me over to back to the 6. I'm sorry, 5.7, which was pre-diabetes, range. But yeah, 5.6 nonetheless was normal range. So I was excited about it, right? Very sometimes hard to get to that point. But with my regimen that I chose, plus, being on Manjaro, at one point I was on insulin for like 2 months, and then I was on Manjaro with the insulin for like about a month or so, month and a half. And then I got off the insulin. I went on Jardiance because they thought, okay, well, if I'm taking you off insulin, you're just on Manjaro, that's not going to be enough to sustain it. Lo and behold, it was enough, because when I got on Jardiance, I had to jump off that because that was making me have low sugars too. So I only was on Manjaro from December 17th all the way until like now. I'm still just on Manjaro for diabetes. So I went to that 5.6 in December. I'm sorry, in January, I found out I was at a 5.6 through Bloodwork, and then in May, I found out I was at a 5.5. So that's even better, right? Last week, okay, 5.4. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. To God be the glory, honey, okay, for what he is doing in my life. All right. Okay, so the kidneys. All right, I told you I had kidney disease. But hold on, let me check this chat. All right, Mia says, I don't know if you ladies saw the video today, but GLP-1s are not proving to be anti-aging. I saw a doctor do a video today about it. Sounds wonderful to me because I wasted too darn long being out. You've been obese a long time, is what you're trying to say. I got you. Okay. All right. So what you think about that, Mia? How about that? My A1C, honey. Okay, you says you watching Jen's chickens today. Yes, yes. She loves her some chickens, honey. I tell you that. Just saw my labs from pre-op. A1C is 5.3. There you go, Mia. 5.3. LDL is 50. Yes, yes. HDL is 100. Blood pressure 99/75. I know that's right. Look at God. Yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about. Tell me about these blood pressure numbers. Tell me about this A1C, y'all. Tell me in the chat about that. How about that? That's what we talk about tonight, honey. Yes. We are giving God all the praise and all the thanks, that's due to him, because he is worthy to be praised, y'all. Yes. Congratulations, Monty. I know that's right. Amazing. Thank you, Traveling T. Yes, to God be the glory. Yes, yes. Thank you for, just helping me, cheering me on, encouraging me, and just giving God all the glory and honor, because it is due to him. All right. Okay, you getting ready for work? All right. Mia, stay on task. Linda says, proud of you, Kim. Thank you. Have a great night at work. Yes, Mia, have a great night. Such great news, Kim J. I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. All right, and then the next thing, so my kidneys, y'all. All right, so stage 3 kidney disease, okay? That's what I have. They have stage A, stage B, And with stage 3, that's another thing they say you can't get rid of. Unfortunately, diabetes you can't get rid of. It seems like all these comorbidities I have, you can't get rid of, quote unquote. Okay, but God, but God, but God. Okay. So, with that being said, because that's what man says. I mean, my God says something different. He said, "I'm healed." Okay, by His stripes, I am healed. I was healed already before I was even born, honey. Okay. With that being said, and that's for you too. But so I'm gonna believe whose report am I gonna believe? I'm gonna believe the report of the Lord. But I'm still gonna make sure I'm getting everything checked out and doing what I need to do myself. Like I always say, faith without works is DEAD. Okay. So I got to do the work. Okay. When back in the day when I was, having high blood pressure issues, I was just like, oh, I'm praying about it, and God got me, honey. God got me. But I wasn't doing no work, nothing. Okay, just praying and Lord, I believe you, and that's it. Okay, and I got kidney disease. And it's not funny, but I mean, I'm gonna be joyful. Okay, I'm gonna rejoice in the Lord. With my everything. I'm not gonna look at it in a bad way. Like I say, I taught Philippians, 4. Talk about, what things we should be thinking on, being positive, all this, trying to be positive. Of course, we go through things, life be lifing, but you always try to find a positive, not think of that negative so much. Cause those, you start thinking about a negative, that thing get in your mind, it get in your heart. And honey, next thing you know, you all depressed and everything. And we ain't got time for that, honey. We don't have time for it. Okay. So that, I'm going to continue to rejoice and be glad in God. Okay. All right. Good evening, Darian. How are you doing? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? We gonna be ready. Look, I'm looking at this time here. It's 8:27. Yes, yes. Y'all, as y'all come in, make sure if you have not hit that like button, go ahead and hit it. Okay. I thank you. Appreciate you. If you are listening in, in the clouds or in the bushes, not on this chat, in other words, go ahead and like. Okay. You can go jump in this comments. We don't mind. Just be respectful, as well as stay on topic. Try to stay on topic. I appreciate it. And then also go ahead and subscribe if you like this content. I greatly appreciate it. All right. Yes, but God, Linda. Yes. Hallelujah. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know, right? Thank you. Thank you. Yes. All right. So she says, I am so darn proud of how hard you're working. You know how to tweak a regimen. God got you, but we have to participate, and you are doing well. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. All right. So with the kidney levels, like I was saying, so I'm still in the stage 3 kidney disease, but instead of like stage 3B, it's now stage 3A. And so that's looking good, Now, one thing I haven't really talked a whole lot about kidneys, but again, everything kind of filters through the kidneys, and we have to be mindful of, especially if you have kidney disease. But anybody, all of these things that I'm talking about tonight, everybody, we want to be mindful of it. You want to be mindful of the numbers where it should be, so that you'll know, the range it should be in. Make sure that you are in the normal range. And if for some reason you're a little low or you're a little high, you'll know what to do. Okay. But when it comes to the kidneys, we want to be careful with those, because like I say, everything is filtering through the liver, through the kidneys and things of that nature. And so, we got to be mindful of it. So for me, I know a lot of people preach protein when we're on these GLP-1 medications, as well as even if you're not on a GLP-1 medication. The thing now is high protein. But when it comes to kidney disease, you have to be careful of that, okay? You can't eat with so much protein, because the kidneys has to filter everything that you're, putting in your body, ingesting and digesting. And you want to make sure it's digesting properly. And sometimes it don't, digest properly. So with that being said, you got to be more mindful of how much protein you're putting in your body. Okay. If you have kidney disease. And so with that being said, you definitely need to talk to your doctors about it, see what your normal should be. And you also want to make sure that, like I said, just that they're checking your blood work, so you'll know those things, so you can know what you need to do to tweak. Just like we tweak when it comes to regimens, We tweak things because of the scale, how it's looking. We have to tweak some things. It's the same thing when it comes to, these other things, these blood work markers and things of that nature. So again, it's awesome to be able to stay stable. A lot of times it don't go back up to your stage 2, to your stage 1, to you're out of this, out of the, the having kidney disease or whatever. But but God still. That's what that's what I'm believing. I'm having my faith that the things that I do, that it's going to help me, and again, you know, he's going to work it all out for me. Okay. And I think he's going to work it out for you all too. Okay. You got to believe in that system. You have to believe in God, whatever, and he will work it out for you. But again, like I said, you got to do what you got to do too, to make sure that are optimizing the chances of having better blood work, as well as, making sure that you are trying to get rid of these comorbidities and reclaim your health. Yep. So I'm happy about that. My creatinine, which that's one marker that they look at when it comes to, how well your kidneys are functioning. And if you have protein in your urine and things of that nature. So when you say protein in your urine, you're talking about these little bubbles. You see these little bubbles in the toilet when you use the bathroom, when you pee. Okay, you see the little bubbles in the toilet? That's indicating you may have some protein in your urine. Okay, so that's why it's good to get them to check it out. Getting your blood work checked to see if there's, why is these bubbles in my urine, or whatever. Knowing how the color of your urine. Is it pale yellow? Is it too yellow? Is it looking almost orange? You may have some blood in your urine if it's too much, like really orangey looking. If it's really pale to, like a light yellow, then that looks good. You hydrated it's showing that you're hydrated well. Your kidneys are kind of filtering properly. So that's how you can tell too. And will help your kidney levels, making sure that EGFR, they're called EGFR. If you look at your blood work, it's called EGFR. They're looking at that as well as that creatinine and a couple other markers, but those two things definitely when it comes to kidneys, and making sure your kidneys are flowing, are doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, and filtering out the things that you put in your in your mouth and swallow, drinks as well as food. Okay. And so with that being said, if your EGFR, so my EGFR, I think it was 49 this time. Okay. It fluctuates too, without going back to all those reports. It fluctuates too. Sometimes it may be 61, and at 61, the number 61, that means I'm kind of in the stage 2 range. Okay. But let me tell you how I was able to get it up to that point. If I'm drinking enough water like I'm supposed to, now I got to be careful how much water I drink too, okay? Because if you drink too much water, that's not a good thing either when you have kidney disease. So you can't eat too much protein, and you don't need to drink but so much water. So you got to be careful with both of those things, especially depending on what stage you're at, okay? Stage kidney disease you're at. All right, and there's 5 stages of kidney disease. So at stage 3, that's when I found out I had kidney disease. I was already at a stage 3. Okay, but I've been rocking with stage 3 ever since I found out. And it's probably been over 15 years at this point. But it fluctuates within that, stage 3 category. But like I said, I was able to get it up to where it indicated like stage 2 as well at one point. And right now, currently, I'm at like the stage 3 range. Okay, so like it goes up and down depending on how you're doing, how your kidneys are filtering and everything. Stage 3 also indicates that you may have some kidney damage, a little bit of kidney damage. So of course, that's why sometimes it may not be, it's harder to go back up when you wind up having kidney damage. So of course, they need to sometimes do an ultrasound on you and things of that nature. So that's why, like I said, it's important to go to the doctor. Even though you're listening at what we're saying as content creators and people that's in the chat and things like that nature, going to that doctor, knowing your numbers is so important, right? So important. If I never did these things, I would never know where I was. Okay. I would never know, okay, you're doing good or you're not doing good. I would never know that, what I need to tweak, like the things I need to do, to better my health. Okay. So I'm happy that I'm stable in that category of kidney disease. Okay. And then, like I said, one thing you can do, I know for sure, is if you're drinking enough water to where your urine is, like I said, like pale yellow, that should, okay, now I know that everything is being pulled out, because even supplements, you have to be careful with that, because we taking all these supplements and different things, and that sometimes too, that's also can make your urine look a different way. Okay, is it looking like that because of the supplement you're taking or the medicine you're taking, or is it looking like that because something wrong with your kidneys, and it's not filtering properly? So that's why you got to be careful with how many supplements and how many, of course you're going to take your medicine that the doctor prescribe you, but I'm saying, like, you have to be careful with your supplement intake too, or whatever, not just food and water, but supplement intake as well. So that's why it's good to talk to your PCP, or you may have to get a nephrologist, which is a kidney doctor. You may have to have an endocrinologist when it comes to checking your with your diabetes situation or insulin resistance, PCOS, things of that nature. They can help you with that. If you have to, if you decide that you need to have a, your PCP will let you know that if you need to have, a specialist involved, which I have to go to all the specialists, because when my A1C went to 15.1, she was like, oh, no, baby, you got to go to these people, not just me. So, yeah. So I'm going to all kinds of specialists just to make sure that, I'm doing everything I can, and to get, somebody to really help me with what I need to get help with. But because I do my research, honey, I do a lot of research. Before I started going to all these people after, I got diagnosed with the diabetes, they were like, Kim J, you are right on, you're right on time. You're doing what you need to do. You're doing all the things, and even losing the weight. Of course, losing weight helped me tremendously as well with some of these things, a lot of these things. Okay. So yeah, I'm excited about it, y'all, to report that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy I'm able to encourage you, Miss Linda. I'm so happy I'm able to encourage you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy. Thank you for telling me that. Yes. All right. Money says, that's how you turn it around, girl. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Money. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. You're right. Yes. All right. Mill says, Linda McDuffie, we are so happy you are here with us. Yes. And we need you as a part of our community. We want to support your journey. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Mia, for that. All right. Michelle says, yes, it depends on the type of kidney disease. Yes, some kidney disorders lose all protein in the urine. Thank you. Thank you for that. Letting us know that. Yes, yes. And ask you how you know. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So Mia says hugs and high fives, Linda. Yes. So Mia also says, when I didn't drink water, I had horrible urine issues and kidney pain. These days, with more intake, it's a lot better and not brown. Awesome, awesome. Yes, because it can even get brown. Yes. Thank you, thank you. Awesome for that, Mia. Yes. Let me go back to her thing. Look. Awesome, awesome, Mia. Yes, yes. Same here, Kim, but I keep fluctuating between 2 and 3. Yes, okay. And like I said, that's what the nephrologist said. You're going, you can fluctuate back and forth, or whatever. So, for me, like I said, I know for sure, because when I had to go to my okay, so remember I told you all I had to go in the hospital when I first had been diagnosed with diabetes, because my levels were so high. So they were like, you need to immediately go to the emergency room. And so they put me in the hospital for 2 days to get those sugars down, those glucose down. Okay. So then eventually, of course, the A1C would go down. And so they put me on insulin. And then, of course, like I said, about 2.5, 3 weeks later, that's when I started my Manjaro journey at the end of July 2024. But, with my kidneys in the hospital, because of course they're giving you so much fluid in the hospital and things like that, it made me, my levels wound up going up to 61, which is really good, because it was like down to 39 or 40 something, whatever. It jumped to 61 just from fluids. So then another thing, my potassium and my sodium levels stayed low a lot. And it could have been because, and I'm talking over the years, but those things could have happened because I was on this medication called chlorothalidone, which is a water pill, to help me with my blood pressure. And Found out last year too, when I went to my wellness visit July of last year, they told me, my doctor was like, okay, I see that you're on this chlorothalidone. I need to take you off of that because I think that's why your potassium is staying too low. And when I say low, it's like under 3, like 2.9 or whatever. But after I went to the hospital that first time, like I said, everything was looking good. Potassium was looking good, because I was getting all that fluid, the things that they, when they had the IVs in you and all this other stuff. And so it was looking good. My sodium was looking good. Those things was looking good. It was just working on that A1C. I mean, I'm sorry, the blood glucose. And it was also, monitoring that A1C as well. And once I did, so once I came home, a week or so later, I had to go back to my, like a follow-up appointment with my PCP. She took another, some more blood work, and that potassium went down, under the 3. And so they were like, go back to the doctor. I mean, the ER. Go back to the ER because that potassium is too low. Now, when I went to the ER, they said, well, you really didn't have to go for this. They could have really prescribed you some potassium, medication that, something like quick that can pull you up real quick. So they told me, hey, take 2 potassium pills. I don't have to give you any potassium through IV. Take 2 potassium pills for 5 days. Okay. And then you want to go back, follow up with your doctor again. And then of course they'll recheck you and stuff like that. So when I talked to my doctor, she was like, okay, you looking good. It's over 3. And then she said, I'm changing that chlorothalidone. I'm putting you on a different medication. So now I'm on this medication called spironolactone. I have not had any low potassium since. And my sodium has gone back up to normal range as well. So both of them have gone back up to normal range. I have not had any more issues. Okay. So it was I guess, with that chlorothalidone, it was pulling too much, fluids out of my body. Okay. Too much urine out of my body, whatever, all of that stuff. It was taking too much from me. Okay. So taking my potassium as well as my sodium and everything. So now I'm in a normal range with those things. Not crazy. Like I probably with the potassium, I'm pretty straight in the middle, but with the sodium, I'm in the normal range, but it's still not crazy. It's not like way up. It's, it's in a good spot. Okay. Even with me taking, like eating, like seasoned salt and things of that nature. So yeah. But yeah, that's hydrating. So the water helped me too. He told me too, once you take these potassium pills, you need to make sure you drink enough water. Drink enough water to where you barely see any yellow at all. And then when you get back to your doctor and they check you, you should be good. Taking these 2 pills, the potassium pills, emergency potassium pills, and drinking that water. Make sure you stay hydrated. Of course, you don't want to go over because you got to be careful because, that can overstimulate your kidneys, but you don't want to be under either. So you don't want to be dehydrated, in other words. So that's why we got to be careful. And that's why we have to go to the doctor so they can tell us, give us advice on what we should do. Okay. I know some people are scared to go to the doctor or they just over it or they cost too much money. But again, you got to do what you got to do, so that you can, make sure that you're reclaiming your health in the best way you can. So Mia said, so that's for you, Hajarine, because I know you have expressed to me about kidney disease and want to know some things that I do. So that's drinking that water. So I did before I get back. So I'm sorry, before I get to Mia, another thing, Hajarine, I noticed that when I did get to that 61 again, because I did get back up there again, and I was at the stage 2. It showed me at stage 2 as well. When I did do that, what time is it? Okay, when I did do that, I was drinking a lot of water. I was drinking because he recommended. He said it's okay for me to do 90 ounces of water, but I was doing about 80 because he was like, you don't have to do 90, but 90 is okay. I said, what about 100? He said, yeah, 100 is fine, but don't try not to go over 100. Okay, so so that's what I did. I just made sure I was drinking that water like I was supposed to. And you don't have to always just drink water for hydration. There's other things you can do, like fruit. Some vegetables have a lot of water, in it. You can drink actual water itself. It's different things you can do. Okay, just to give you. But those are the things that I was definitely doing. Some of the other things like the protein drinks or the coffee and the oath and things like that, yes, that will give me some hydration as well. But my focus at that point was just mainly water, looking at that water for the intake of, making sure that I stay hydrated. The other things to me was just an additive for me. But yeah, so that's how I got back to that too. So, I know how to drink. I think you drink like a gallon of water a day. I know you just went to and talked to your nephrologist about, what your everything or whatever. So I know you're working on that, with him. And hopefully, and I pray, for you that it just gets even better. Hopefully you can go back to stage one, have stage one levels. Yeah. So that's that on that. All right. So Mia says, that's really good. It's a fine line between health and hazard. So knowing numbers is very important. Yes, yes, Mia. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for saying that. All right. Cookie said, Mia, about how much water are you drinking now per day? I'm glad it's helping you. Okay, Michelle says, my son has it since he was 2 years old. Okay, so he's had kidney issues since he was 2 years old. He is off all medications as of today. All right, Kwame. Yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. Went from 300 pounds to 120 pounds. Yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. He lost it by changing his diet and working out daily. Yes, he cannot lift much because lifting affects the kidneys as well. How about that, y'all? How about that? So you got to be careful even with weightlifting, okay? We got to be careful. So this is just letting us know. Let me see. I think she got some more. So, okay. So Michelle also says, with God, he said with God, he said to be DEAD 3 times, but he is still here, okay? So the doctors must have said whatever, but God. I give God the praise. I lived in the hospital for many years, at least the last 20 of those years. So again, to God be the glory, Michelle, for what he has done. He is a great God. He does exactly what he says he's going to do. He said, we are healed by his stripes. We are healed, and living proof your son is that he is doing exactly what he told him he would do and what he told y'all he would do for him. Michelle, to God be the glory. Miss Linda said, yes. Mia said, glad you fixed that. Yes, yes. Cookie says, wow, Michelle, it sounds like your son is doing great. Yes, 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 yes. I'm in the same med, Kim. Okay, Miss Linda. Gotcha. Yep. So you wait a minute, hold on. I'm sorry. You on the chlorothalidone or the spironolactone? Which one you talking about, Miss Linda? All right. Dietitian told me to drink 120 ounces. Okay, cool. And that's good. So that lets you know too. Not only is Hajarine, she recently started talking to a nephrologist, to help a specialist that helps, look at the kidneys, and make sure they're doing okay, or, that she's maintaining at least, and it's not getting worse, right? But she also talks to a dietitian, okay? So that's awesome too. So your dietitian said 120. Good. Now I know some of the medical staff, they kind of work together and know what each other is helping, like know the things they're telling each other, and sometimes they don't. I know, like my PCP may not know anything about what my kidney doctor is saying, unless I tell them, hey, you can release the information to my PCP. So my doctors are kind of kind of everywhere, and then I have to make sure that they come together. Now in the hospital, yes, they will do all that. They will, the minds will start meeting up and they start coming up with stuff. But for some reason, my doctors, they're not using the same system, so they don't talk to each other. So I have to make sure I manually, hey, make sure you tell my PCP, make sure you tell my kidney doctor, make sure you tell my endocrinologist, whatever. But yeah, so my dietitian and my kidney doctor, they stated, the 90 ounces of water is good or whatever. My P is clear. That's awesome. So that's probably why you are looking good in stage 2. Yes, Linda says I'm on the same medicine. Yes, I know what you were talking about. I didn't know which one, chlorothalidone or the spironolactone, Linda. All right, Michelle says definitely improve, Cookie. Yes, our interview, he couldn't talk about it. It's a lot to discuss. Yes. So Michelle, she had an interview with her son on her channel, and they actually discussed a little bit about it. But sometimes it's so much going on that of course he can't get into everything. Not especially not in that one little clip, of a video. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome, sweetheart. All right, Monica says my dietitian told me to drink vitamin water zero and Minute Maid zero as water too. Okay, yes. Awesome, awesome. So I do Minute Maid zero. Or Minute Maid no sugar. I do that. And then I drink that. And then I also drink mix-ins. I love the Sun Kiss mix-ins. Here you go, one right here. That's great. Now I drink smart water at times, but I wash this out, y'all, and I reuse it. Put more water in it. Put my little mix in it, and yeah, because I know how much is in here without. Because if I get a regular cup, I'm gonna put ice in it. Now I don't know how much water I'm getting. But with this, I can have this. So I put it in the refrigerator. I put the water in it, wash it out each time. Put the water in it. Put it in the refrigerator. Save me a little money, y'all. Save me some coins. All right, so, but I don't put it like in a dishwasher or nothing like that. And I let it dry out, air dry. So Monty says, yeah, so Monty, that's awesome, awesome, awesome. So vitamin water, I did buy some protein water. It was protein 2.0 or something like that from Target. But this is the first time I'm doing it. I don't know about 4. It was okay. I'm drinking the 4. I'm going to go ahead and drink the 4. I don't care for the taste of it, but yes, I understand where you're coming from. So Minute Maid, I don't normally count that as water, but it is definitely hydration too. Like I said, those things I look at. Now I will count this mix in as water, but for some reason, like the Minute Maid zero, that's just an additive of hydration for me. I don't actually count it, every day. Yes. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for that. So, because somebody in here may not know, so that's awesome. And thank you for letting me know as well. All right, Kim J. Mia says, I had the same issue this summer with the exact same medication. I don't take it anymore either. It is a diuretic medication that strips the sodium and potassium from us. There you go. And I was taking chlorothalidone for years. And that doctor, because I was a different doctor, but that doctor never said anything. I think it was just, like sometimes some doctors are just saying, this is the medicine I'm used to prescribing, and that's it. And they don't think about the newer medications that's out there that may, let's move to a new medication. Because you notice my potassium keep going down. It will never go back, and it's not staying up when it does go up. So what we got? And I didn't know, I'm thinking that the doctor know everything. So I just went with what he told me to do. But yeah, when I switched to this other doctor, and she's actually an APRN. I go to a nurse practitioner or APRN, and she was like, we taking you off this chlorothalidone, we're gonna put you on the spironolactone, and we're gonna see how it goes. Okay. And it's been fine. Michelle's Mirror says, thank you all. God is able. He is so able. Please keep up. Please keep up your numbers. Yes. Thank you, Michelle, for that. Mia says, I have a 30-ounce, tumbler, and I brewmate tumbler, and I try to get at least 3 of the 30 ounces in because I have incontinence issues. So too much water makes a real issue for me. I get you. I understand that, honey. I do understand that. Ask me how I know. 9 of the 100 ounces seems to be a sweet spot without too many accidents. Awesome. I be having that problem too. Me, I understand exactly what you're talking about. And what's crazy for me is, and that's one of the perimenopause things that some women have. A lot of women, way more than we should, right? And also, like people that have had kids, sometimes that happens and make you have urinary incontinence and things of that nature. Not fun, but it's a true thing that happens to us, unfortunately. So yeah, sometimes I have that. Sometimes I'm good. It just depends on the day. I'm walking, at a local college, and I'm walking, just doing my little walk or whatever, trying to get my steps in, and I'm nowhere near my car. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh God, I got to use the bathroom. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I'm steady trying to get back to that car, baby. I could not make it to that car. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, And then there's time I haven't for weeks and weeks and months. I might be fine. It just depends. All right. So I understand where you're coming from with that. All right. Lena says, that's true, Michelle. We have to watch weightlifting. Yes. All right. 2 minute accent. Yeah, I did read that. Yes, Michelle says no creatinine. I'm sorry, no creatine. It's hard on the kidneys per the doctor. It's a lot of tracking at home, but it's worth it. Now, this is what Michelle's son, was told. Don't, use the creatine, okay? Which helps you, build muscle, right? A lot of people are on creatine to help build muscle. People with kidney disease got to be careful with that. If your doctor has stated you can use it, then do what the doctor tells you to do. Now, me, I knew about this kidney, you shouldn't do it for kidney disease or whatever. You shouldn't be on it. I wanted to be on it so bad, y'all, to help me, get these things here. These bat arms, bat wings, but I could not get to that point to take it, right? But I talked to my kidney doctor. He was like, for you, you're okay taking it, when you're exercising, because I'm doing the strength training thing, but I decided not to do it. I just decided not to do it at this time. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. So it depends on your doctor. Cookie says, I just checked my kidney numbers on my chart. My kidney numbers are good. Awesome, 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 Cookie. These are labs from October. I'm running labs again on my next visit. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes. Take care of them kidneys. Hello, Antonio. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Welcome, Antonio. Thank y'all. Okay, the spirit and the lights on. Okay, gotcha, Miss Linda. All right, those mix-ins really help because I'm from school of thought that liquid equals water. It all counts towards the goal. And you're right, it all counts towards the goal. Only thing I heard them say is like that I've read up on is if you put too much sugar, of course, that kind of hurts it a little bit. It don't give you as much as I guess you should have, and it can like counteract or whatever. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, it all counts. I didn't enjoy the Clean Simple Eats cherry lime protein soda. I wanted to try that, but wait a minute. You did enjoy it. I'm sorry, you did enjoy that. I've been thinking about trying that. Thank you, Mia. Girl, you be hooking us up. My side effects, Money says, of Majara, it makes me not want to drink either. So that was her creative way to get. Yes, exactly. I'm with you on that, and that's why I be drinking these, putting these mix-ins in too. Like you said, yes, I'm with you on that. Hello. Everybody's saying to Anthony. Michelle says, Cookie, that is great on my chart. She's saying that her records for Cookie, that's awesome for kidney levels being great. All right. Thanks, Michelle. I'm looking forward to seeing what my next labs are. Yes, Cookie. I think they're going to be wonderful. Keep doing what you're doing, sweetheart. All right. Mia says, I was told that I have to lose weight to be able to get that issue fixed. I think 154 pounds off might qualify to them as lost weight. I think so too, girl. You've been doing your thing over there. You hear me? Awesome. That is a great scale victory. Okay. I lost 74 pounds. I'm like, that wasn't enough. Because again, every now and again it happens. Maybe so I don't know. We're gonna see how that goes. So of course it depends on the person. Yes, Cookie Mill says, I bet you will see big improvement. Okay, y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. All right, so y'all already know Mr. Darium. That's my bro, y'all. That's my bro. All right, he is going to be on RMZ, which is Round Mountain Zepbound's channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So in a minute, y'all, okay? So I'm going to get off this live because we got to go over there and support my brother. Yes. And y'all, thank you for coming in. I greatly appreciate y'all. I really do. And I will talk to y'all next week, unless I decide to get back on a live again, this week. We shall see. All right, y'all. Let's see. So y'all come on over there with me. Okay, see you later, Vanessa. Round Mountain Zepbound. If y'all love Darium, y'all come check them out. Round Mountain Zepbound. That's the channel name. Okay, y'all? Bye-bye. Love you. Peace. And thanks for congratulating me and cheering me on and, all the good things. All right? Bye-bye. Till next time. Hopefully all hearts and minds are clear.